Hello everyone, my name is Jefferson Collins, and I will be doing a step-by-step coding video using functions, if statements, loops, global variables, and global constants. First, we'll go over what some of these mean. So, what is a function? A function is a block of reusable code that performs a specific task. We define these functions by the keyword def. You can see that here. So, what is a global variable? Global variables are defined outside of any function and can be accessed anywhere in the program. So here we can see global variable, result, outside of all the functions. So what is a global constant? Global constants are defined outside of the function as well and can be accessed anywhere, but they also never change. So here you can see the global constant. We are signifying it in caps. It will be the arithmetic operators, and these will never change. So, what is an if statement? We previously mentioned if statements and loops, but I can also go over them real fast. They are blocks of code that are executed on specific conditions. What are loops? Loops allow a user to repeat blocks of code or iterate them. So, let's dive into the code. So we start out with our global constant, and remember, it never changes. So we define it as operators equals, this is a string, so addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Now we go to our global variable. um, it's always available. Same thing with our global constant. We are going to signify it as result equals 0. And this is where we store the result of the last calculation. So we're going to be able to access this result in any one of these functions and anywhere outside of it because it is defined outside. So let's dive into our very first function. This function performs addition. It takes two arguments, x and y, representing the numbers to be added. So we can see here, def add x, y. Next, we're going to have this right here, make sure it's indented, return x plus y, and it just returns the sum. And we are going to have it return down here into the main function. So next, onto the other function. Next, we have a function to perform subtraction. It takes x and y as an argument as well. Almost the same thing, we just put subtract x and y and return the values from x minus y. Next, the function of multiplication. This function performs multiplication and it also takes x and y. Divide will also take x and y. And then it will return x times y. Next, we have the next function. This function performs division. It shows def divide x and y. It takes x as the numerator and y as the denominator. And it says, we can also check for an error. We show if y equals 0, return error, division by 0. If it does not equal 0, it will skip the if statement and just return the result from x divided by y. So this ensures that whenever we go down to the main float, if we allow a 0, we will get an error down here. And I can show you right here. We code this out. Zero, say 0. It can't even compute it. So let's go back here. Let's take away this, and let's keep going. Another cool thing about PyCharm is you see where it says one usage. It'll show you where this variable or function is being used. So you can click on it. It's being used here, only one time in the program. So that's a cool function of or ability of PyCharm. So let's go into our main function. So we have here def main. This is the main function. It's basically the entry point of the program. First, we're going to have a welcome message that initiates the program. We're going to say print Welcome to the Simple Calculator app. Next, this is our while loop with the if statement inside. So it is a loop that ensures that the menu is repeatedly displayed until the user chooses to exit. We show print options, print add, subtract, multiply, divide, show result, exit. It also gives a numbered list so the user can choose. Now we go into that choice inside the loop, choice input into your choice, 1 through 6. Now they can either choose to add, subtract, multiply, divide, show result, or exit the program. So now let's get down to the if statement, which is also inside of the while loop, which is inside of the main function. So if you choose 1, your x has to be a float. The computer will say it's an input from the user, so it will allow an input. Same thing with y. And then we have the result equals, uses the function that we already made to add those together. elif, same thing. If they choose 2, the float user input, the result subtract from that function we made before. Same thing here. If it's a 3, float user input. Same thing with y. Result equals multiply from that function that we created earlier. Same thing with 4 and division. It will be the numerator and the denominator. You can see that it's a little bit different, just so the user does not get confused. Next, if they choose 5, they can see their result. And we have here, so we can insert the variable into this statement. Next, we have 6. This is how we will exit. The program will keep running if we do not click 6. It will print goodbye. And we use break to exit the program to break out of the loop. If you do not, it will give you an else invalid choice. Please enter a valid option. So if you do not click anything of 1 through 6, the program will keep running. And if you click 1 through 5, it will keep running through these choices. Next, we have the call to main. This is where you have the ability to call the entire program. You need to use this whenever you have a main function because it serves as a entry point kind of to tell the program to execute. Next, I wanted to show you all this way. You can also close out, make your code a little cleaner if you wanted to show, and open it back up. That is also a nice thing that PyCharm has. We can go ahead and run this. I can show you. So it shows options. Here's the menu that I was showing. We can say, let's add. Let's do 200. Second number, 200. And now the loop will reiterate back to the menu. And how you get the result is you say 5 to show result. And we can look up result 400 from 200 plus 200. And say we want to divide. Let's say 300, 10. We need the 5 to show result. Let's look up what that is, and it's 30. Now, say we want to have a 10 because that's not an option. Let's see what it says. Invalid choice. Please enter a valid option. So I want to leave. The only way to leave is to break the loop and to click 6. Goodbye. And that is my code. I hope everyone learned a lot, and I hope everyone has a good day. Pause the video at any time or go back if you needed to. And thank you for listening.